Well, I did have work earlier. I did try to look semi-professional-ish.
It's fine. Sarah, I did this show once in a Spider-Man costume.
Yes, I was there.
I know you were there. My point is, looking professional for this show is not a high priority.
I didn't say that I did it for
Fair
the
point.
show. I did it for work. Just...
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you did it after you got off work.
No.
I was gonna say I appreciate it, but it's not necessary. Anywho, hey guys. We're playing a bit catch up this week. Just with this one movie. Thankfully, this is like the first time I had to do catch up in a while. Thank God. But
was it worth it?
oh yeah, like this is like finally a fucking good movie that I actually liked, which is a nice change of pace.
High five.
Yeah. It's been a long time. I mean, granted, we're at a point in movies like so far that I've not hated all of the movies that have come out. Like, I actually thought Ant-Man was a pretty good movie.
Although, well, tangent. I saw Ant-Man on its opening night, and the climactic scene between Ant-Man and the Yellow Jacket had some very strong Iron Man 1 climax parallels.
I thought it was way better than Iron Man 1 climax. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, homicidal, technological...
Well, I mean, yeah, the villain was flat, but the action was great.
I mean, in terms of the build-up and to it and the beats for it, a villain in a suit fights...
Okay, let's talk about Mr. Holmes. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Holmes.
Sorry.
This is a review for Ant-Man. We covered that already. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about Mr. Holmes.
Which I loved.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a great movie. Yeah, like it took me a while to get into it. Once I did, yeah, it's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
It is.
Definitely the best I've seen in a while. I mean, it's something I'm gonna go home and rave about, but it's like, hey, I enjoyed myself. I thought that was pretty good.
Although there was one joke I wanted to make during the establishing shot, but I kept my mouth shut because... Well,
we got some bitchy old lady in the behind us.
yes, and she...
Because apparently talking before the movie start is also a no-no.
Oh, talking before the previews start.
Yeah, talking before the previews start apparently is a big no-no.
And she asserted that I was disrupting and disturbing everyone in the theater.
I don't know, I was just saying, fuck that bitch. Sorry, I'm not sympathetic towards people like that. I'm really not.
She pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, she pissed me off.
And she invaded my personal space too. What the hell?
I don't know. It's one of those things, it's like, the woman in front of us was nice.
Yes, yes, very.
So we got two parallels going on. Good.
On either end of us.
Anyway, this is a movie filled to the brim with old people. Like, we were like the youngest people there.
Yes.
Like we were the only ones under the age of 40, I think, there. Except for like one other couple. I think there was like one other couple that looked like in their like mid-30s, if I had to guess.
Fair enough, but...
Everyone else looked like in the 80s and 90s. You got a really old crowd for this. I haven't had that since I went to go see Lincoln by myself, and only one there below 30. I swear to God. The woman next to me had a sandwich and a book with her.
I remember you telling me that. At the establishing opening shot, a joke went through my mind. Oh, it looks like the Hogwarts Express.
It did look like a Hogwarts Express. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, hey, it's the Harry Potter train.
Yes, I know, right?
It wouldn't shock me if it actually was the same train.
Reusing sets and stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, it is London. Everything looks the same over there. I know. I can send your hate mail too. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't hate me. I know the people who send me hate comments on the Superman, Batman variant going, "You motherfucker!" Anyway, no. Anywho, so for those who don't know what this movie is or you haven't heard about it, I would not be shocked if you haven't heard about this movie.
It doesn't have a very big advertising budget.
I mean, it's a BBC movie, and you don't see many of those here
and
in America.
Miramax.
And is it Miramax?
Miramax and BBC and...
Miramax must have published it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
But either way, yeah, so the story is Sherlock... It's a very clever setup.
It is.
Like, it's a very clever setup. It's a nice, inventive way to tell a Sherlock Holmes story in a way that has not been done with Sherlock Holmes before. At least, not that I know of. Not that I know of. I should emphasize that. I know this is also based on a book.
That makes sense.
Because I saw in the opening credits, so it was based on a book.
All right.
But the setup is that Ian McKellen plays Sherlock Holmes, which...
Who, he did a really good job.
He did a really good job, but it was really distracting at first that was Ian McKellen, because for some reason, when he's playing Magneto, I see Magneto. When he's playing Gandalf, I see Gandalf. But for the first 20 minutes or so, all I could see was Ian McKellen in a hat. That's for the first 20 minutes. Like, once it got going, especially when we got to the flashbacks,
yes,
I got a lot more into it's like, okay, I buy him as Sherlock Holmes. But for a second there, for the longest time, all I could see was, oh, it's just Ian McKellen. Complained as a little kid. Like I said, it got better. Like I said, I was really worried that because I could not get past that. It was bugging the crap out of me. But I got over it. It's one of those things. It's not a huge thing. It's a nitpick. But for me, it took a while for me to buy him as Sherlock Holmes. Because when he starts off, he's just this crotchety old senile man. Mm-hmm. And you don't really get to see him do like the Sherlock Holmes shtick, which they point out right off the bat. It's like, okay, yeah, a lot of that was made up for the books. Of course, Mr. Sherlock Holmes never existed in real life, but you get my point. In this universe, Mr. Holmes is a real-life person that who Dr. Watson wrote fictional stories about, much like he did in like the BBC series, the new one.
I haven't seen, but know
you
about.
You haven't watched the new Sherlock's?
I don't have cable.
Oh, okay. Well, you can probably find them online. They're really good.
Yes, so I've heard. That's a big feather in Cumberbatch's cap.
Oh yeah, it basically gave him its career.
Yes.
There's just I don't want to talk about Sherlock. Let's talk about Mr. Holmes. So Mr. Holmes, but he lives in this little house in the middle of the country with his housekeeper and her son Roger. I don't remember the housekeeper's names. I remember Roger's names because they make a point to say it 500,000 times.
He's more of a central character for Holmes to work off of and work with. Yeah,
and they're all played by really good actors. I mean, Ian McKellen's great. I don't know who played Roger the Kid, but he was really good. Like, it's always nice to find like a genuinely good kid actor.
Yes.
Because they are a rare breed. And I don't know who played the housekeeper. She did pretty good too, although I found her character kind of confusing. I don't know if you felt the same way.
I wasn't confused, but there were some scenes where I felt like she was doing a genuinely good job, and other scenes where I felt like she was just kind of there, like she was just a speaking cardboard cutout.
Mm-hmm, that's fair. For me, it's just more of the fact that her character, for some reason, I mean, the whole plot of the movie is that in this, Mr. Holmes is slowly losing his memory, which, again, a great setup for Sherlock Holmes. Great setup. Very genius.
It should also be noted that he's 93.
Yeah, he's 93, he's old, he's senile, but he's trying to remember his last case, the case that made him retire, made him go out in the country, but he can't remember all the details until he starts hanging out with Roger, who, for some reason or another, starts triggering memories of what happened. And those are the flashback sequences where, I don't know who did the makeup to make Ian McKellen look older. They did a really good fucking job.
They did.
They did a fantastic fucking job. And then again, it goes with Ian McKellen's credit, is that the younger version of Sherlock Holmes and the older version are two vastly different versions. Vastly different, because like Ian McKellen as an older person's even like doing like the drooped lip thing, like see like in Stroke Victims and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So like little touches like that really sell him as like this old, kind of feebly old, frustrated man.
And the heavier bags.
The heavier bags
under the eyes.
Yeah, very good use of makeup there.
Yes.
But the younger Ian McKellen, he's much more spry. He kind of walks like Charlie Chaplin. I kind of noticed that. But he's much more spry, he acts much more like the Sherlock Holmes you kind of imagine, and he's talking about the real version of one of Dr. Watson's last stories, and like how this is the real one, how it's not exactly a happy story, and I don't want to give too much away, because I feel like this is one movie you should track down, you should go see it. Agreed,
and completely seconded. See it, it's a beautiful film.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying, it's half the fun is just kind of is going along with the mystery, trying to figure out what really happened, and of course the twists and turns and stuff like that. So it's like, so I'm saying it's better you go into this not knowing as much as you can about the story plot and all that stuff. Although I did feel like the big climax at the end was kind of focusing on the wrong thing.
The
I was like, I felt like the
Japan
climax,
stuff?
not the Japan stuff. I thought that was fine.
Okay.
I'm talking about like the revelation of in this one, Mr. Holmes is also a beekeeper because he believes that the royal jelly will help.
The royal jelly is honey.
Yeah. The royal jelly will help like slow down his
Dementia.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But there's some reason the bees keep dying. They're trying to figure out what it is, and like the climax. There's like kind of like two climaxes to the film. The first climax is what happens in the last case that Mr. Holmes ever did, and the second climax is what happened to the bees. I kind of felt like that should have been backwards.
You felt like the bee mystery was more compelling and important?
No, I felt like the flashback scene is more compelling and important. I felt like that should have been taken primary, but when you have very dramatic, swooping music as Mr. Holmes is explaining what happened to the bees, which all of a sudden it's giving me flashbacks of Wicker Man. Not the bees! No! Anyway.
I still need to see the Wicker Man from the 70s because I've heard that's actually good.
I don't know, I kind of like Nicolas Cage version. He punched Nicolas Cage wears a bear suit, punches out a lady. Best scene ever. He's one of the few actors who's ever done it. Apparently, he's more than one. I didn't know.
Did you Google that?
I may have. Okay. Punch out woman in bear costume. You'd be surprised what kind of weird fetish shit you get out of that.
Furries?
Well, shit, now that's in my head. Furries punching out oldladies.com. If it didn't exist before, it's going to.
What is it? Rule 34. If it exists, there is porn of it on the internet.
Yeah, I think it's kind of more meaning for pre-established IPs, but there may be a website about furries punching out old ladies. I don't know. It's all I want to find out now. I'm gonna go home, Google it, and regret it.
Just destroy your search history.
It's like 2001 Space Odyssey. The black monolith and shit. Anywho, Mr. Holmes.
I'm sorry.
The weird ass fucking tangents we get in this show. And I gotta go see Pixel tomorrow. God knows what's gonna happen in that review.
So, who's seen that with you?
I've got Matthew to go on that.
Okay.
I told Patrick, fuck no, I am not seeing Pixel with you. I already see Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I am not doing Pixel.
He tried giving you puppy dog eyes.
He tried to guilt me into letting him go see Pixels. I stood my ground. We already have a bet going on to see if he can get to see Alvin and the Chipmunks, so we'll see if he actually pulls it off. I don't know. It can go either way. But anywho, yeah, it's like one of those things. It's a good movie.
It is.
Like, there's not much to say about it without going into plot details.
And unlike many of our other reviews, this is one we don't want to overtly spoil for you.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't want to give everything
It's a mystery.
away. Yeah, so you don't want to give it like, oh, by the way, Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. You don't want to do that.
Dun-dun-dun.
I know. 6 episodes done to death. But, it's one of those things, it's not an action-packed movie. It's one of those things, this is very much for a niche audience. You have to want to watch a slower-paced movie. I mean, this isn't the Guy Ritchie films. This is a very slow-paced movie, deliberately slow-paced.
I actually liked the pacing.
I did too, but like I said, I'm the first to acknowledge that's not for everyone. Like, a lot of people need, like, the more fast-paced stuff like you get from the Sherlock series, like you get from the Guy Ritchie films, and stuff like that. Granted, the Sherlock series is way better than the Guy Ritchie films, but that's neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
But this one it's deliberately slow-paced, it's entirely character-driven.
Which I appreciate because I've always loved the social dynamics of well-developed characters in film and television.
Yeah. But it's one of those, it's very kind of a slow indie film. Not necessarily indie because BBC Films didn't make it, but it feels like an indie film.
A bit, yes. And that makes me sad because their local independent movie theater closed. Anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, the competition here, that was kind of going to happen sooner or later.
But it was open for so long and voted best theater in Monterey.
I know, man.
Sad face.
Hey, tears. Anyway.
Yes, but I love how this movie is paced. I love how it looks. I love how it sounds. I love the performances.
Yeah.
I love the flashbacks. I love the clever way the story is constructed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good film. See it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what it comes down to is that pretty much, and like Ian McKellen really does sell the younger Sherlock Holmes very, very well, and like even like the plot points I was kind of picking apart as they were watching it, like were like explained or a twist was made. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. So like it covers its bases very clearly. It's very well written. It knows what it's doing.
It does.
Which, you know,
it's an intelligent.
It's refreshing.
An intelligent, refreshing, entertaining, enjoyable film.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, there are a couple more serious, dramatic parts, but there's not too many, I would say. The focus is more on just the story and the character development. I mean, like, the one thing that did bother me about the housemaid character was the fact that she seems to have this resentment for Sherlock Holmes, which is never really explained.
It's explained a little bit towards the end when she says that her son is all she has left.
But, yeah, but that doesn't explain why she just got really resentful for no clear reason, just because the son is hanging out with the person they're living with.
Well, he was focusing more on Holmes than he was on his mother. Maybe his mother felt neglected and therefore harbored some resentment.
Maybe. It's as valid theory as any, but I don't know. I felt like that was one thing that was kind of like... I thought they were going to do some kind of dumb twist. Like, I'm not giving away too much, because, quite frankly, this would have been a terrible plot twist if this is the case. I thought they're going to reveal, like, Sherlock Holmes was, like, his father or something like that.
That would have been awful. That would have undermined everything.
Yeah, I felt like that would at least made a little bit more sense of why she would resent him, though. It turns out, like, of course, that's not the case, which is a good thing in overall. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so why are you being so harsh on him for, like, no reason? I mean, like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't buy it. Like, it was way too much stronger resentment to be just the sole reason. I don't know. That was the one thing that bugged me, though. Like, that's a nitpick.
It's the best hypothesis I can come up with.
Yeah. Like, I see where you're coming from. Like, I don't know. I feel like there was, like, more there. And I feel like there's like, a deleted scene that explained it or something like that.
Maybe.
But, I mean, this is a fairly short movie. This movie's like an hour and 45 minutes. But, yeah. It's one of those things, though. I mean, again, there's really not much else to talk about going into spoilers. So. Oh. Who's gone? Oh, and we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to talk about trailers. Hold on 1 second. Well, I hope you enjoyed those products, things, whatever they were.
So, we got a fair amount of trailers, and a few of them actually look like they're decent movies.
Yeah, I mean, the first one we got was for Shaun the Sheep movie.
That trailer I had seen before.
This is the first time I've gotten seen it all the way through. I don't know. Didn't really do anything for me.
I mean, if you're a Wallace and Gromit fan, then you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always respect the claymation style. I know how hard that much dedication that art form takes, and I have a high respect for it.
It takes hours.
Years.
Yes.
They spent God knows how many times. Like, I think they spent, like, 4 years or something on Nightmare on Elm Street.
I believe that.
Yeah, something like that. I forget how long it was off the top of my head, but it's a long-ass time. And that movie was only 72 minutes. But I don't know, it looks okay.
Wait, Nightmare on Elm Street or Nightmare...
Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas.
There you go. That makes more sense.
That makes much more sense. So I don't know, it looks okay. It looks like decent kids fare, but I don't know if it's really my thing. Then we got, which one was Brooklyn?
Oh, where the Irish girl...
Oh, right.
Moves to America and starts dating an American Italian, and then goes back and meets another guy and the other guy wants her to stay in Ireland.
Well, it sounds like I just explained the entire movie.
That's what was shown
I know. That's
in the trailer.
I'm not blaming you. I'm saying that's the trailer's fault. It's a recent trend I've noticed that's become more and more prevalent in trailers nowadays. Like, let's tell you the entire movie in about 3 minutes and completely defeat the purpose of you actually going to see the movie. Terminator has a horrible trend with this. That one I didn't really remember, so clearly it's kind of just in the meh category. Like, didn't love it, didn't hate, just meh.
I have a feeling that it is going for a more female predominant demographic.
Probably. I don't know. It is like the only movie I think I've seen a trailer for this year where they made racism seem quirky. So there is that.
Well, distinction, I guess.
Little kid going, just say we don't like Irish people. Oh, you.
Well, it is set in a more racist time in American history.
I know, but it was presented in very much kind of a wah-wah kind of a way. I mean, granted, yeah, it's a one-off joke, and they immediately say, no, don't do that to the little kid. So it's I'm just... Dumb joke. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Guess who forgot to delete the memory again? Shit. So... Thankfully, I think it ended just after we got done with Brooklyn. So
yes.
I think, okay, yeah, so we're okay. So, next one we had was something I actually have something to say about, which was Suffragette. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Keep fucking the name of this movie up. So this one, you and I were talking about this earlier, is the fact that I have an issue with biopics. Maybe just the biopic trailers, the way the trailers present them, is the fact that it focuses more on the message and does about the people it's about. Especially when comparing to movies that are really, really good biopics, like Selma, which balanced the person itself and the actual topic he was addressing. It balanced that very, very well. But the focus is much more on Martin Luther King than it was on what he was actually trying to do.
About his life and how it affected his family.
Exactly. And that's what a good biopic should be about. That's what a good biopic should do. But usually you find that whenever they focus on something else, like just what the message itself and what they're trying to do and how the evil corporate person is trying to, or government person, whatever the hell it is trying to beat them down into submission, rah, 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 rah. That's usually when your biopic fucking sucks. I mean, we saw that with, I think, I mentioned this one earlier, was Cesar Chavez. I gotta say that slowly because I fuck the name up every single time. And I don't want to because he was a good man, he did a lot of great things, but I keep fucking his name up. I feel so bad every time.
Oh, I mess names and words up all the time. So.
I never do. I'm infallible. I never forget names. I need to get little Mr. Holmes and he writes the names on the sleeves of his shirt.
Hey, at least he was aware of it and was doing something to make up for it.
I should start doing that. Then there's just this whole thing would be look like the new Joker with just names and shit everywhere.
Have name tattoos.
Oh God, I'd run out of room and money.
And, I get what you're saying, but I didn't get the impression that this was an individual biopic. It kind of felt more like a historical drama.
Maybe that could be the case too. Although there was one part where all I could think of was the part where they're in the sewing chamber, and all I could think of, I hear Les Mis start playing in my head.
At the end of the day, I'm another day older. Actually,
yeah, that one too. That's a song I couldn't remember. My first thought was look down, don't look up, which is very appropriate for the story. Don't look 'em in the eye.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, it's another movie with Meryl Streep in it.
No, that's Meryl Streep was the trailer afterward.
No, she's in this one too.
Oh.
Yeah, she's in it very briefly, but she's in it.
I missed that.
Yeah, she was the older woman that goes on the balcony and talks to everyone.
Oh, the speaker.
Yeah, that was Meryl Streep.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's in it too. Then we got Steve Jobs, a trailer I've talked about a few times before.
We both have next.
Yeah, so I like how it's kind of weird. I like how they're painting Steve Jobs as a dick. And then we got Rick in the Flash. It's another trailer I've got a million times at this point. I don't know if you've gotten it all.
That was my first time getting it. It looked like Meryl Streep playing a seasoned professional musician, and she's spent a lot of time away from her family, and the family has issues as a result.
Yeah. And then we got Coming Home, which I don't even remember that. Do you remember what that one was?
I wasn't able to catch much of the lines because it's a foreign film.
The Japanese horror film, or is it Chinese? Or Korean?
I don't know.
I don't know either, and I feel bad.
I do too. I'm sorry.
Okay. Some foreign film.
Yes.
It looked good.
It did.
I don't usually go see foreign films. Very rarely. I think the only movie we've ever reviewed was The Hunt.
Which was really good.
Yeah, which is an excellent foreign movie. I feel really bad that I don't know where this movie came from.
I'm right there with you. So.
I don't know. Like, it looks good. I mean, it's one of the movies I kind of forgot about it though. So I guess I don't know how much of a lasting impression it really leaves. But that's kind of like Brooklyn. I don't know. Although this looks much better than Brooklyn.
Yes, it did.
But yeah, I got nothing else. Do you got anything else?
Go see Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, Mr. Holmes.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, what she said. So tomorrow we got Pixels, and the day after that I got Paper Town. So I'll be busy the next couple days.
You sound so excited.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking riveted. Although Paper Town should be interesting because Lauren's doing that with me, and she really disagreed with me in my Fault in Our Stars review. So.
I saw her mention that, yes.
It's like, it's a movie about young people in love, Michael. Comment I get. It's like, so is Perks Being a Wallflower. Much better movie. Anyway, thanks y'all for watching, guys. See you all tomorrow, I guess. Bye.